Hi yogis, and welcome to this video. It's a beginner level video and it's all about the fourth chakra. So we're moving up through the chakras in our series of practices, and this chakra is called Anahata Chakra, and it's the Heart Chakra. It's located where your heart is, and most people live the whole of their lives within the realms of these first three chakras that we've done. Breaking through and opening up the space of the heart is challenging on an energetic level, and that is part of the reason why a lot of people find backbending and opening up this space challenging as well. So be patient with yourself, bear with it, work through it, and gradually you'll start to open this space, and the energy will be able to flow through this chakra. So as I've been doing on the last video, this is how it's symbolized. It's green, it's got 12 petals, and these 12 petals represent the different qualities of the heart. They're not set in stone, it's really what it means to you. So that could be joy, compassion, love, forgiveness, all of those kind of qualities. And then it's got two triangles, one with a point facing up, one with a point facing down, and this represents this middle point between the three lower chakras and the three higher chakras. And these interlocking triangles create 6 points which represent these chakras as well. And then the symbol in the middle represents the seed sound, the mantra for this chakra, which is Yam. So we're going to use a mudra, hand gesture, that is one of the heart mudras, and you're going to bring your knuckles together, and then you're going to bring your thumbs down. So from the way that I'm looking at it, I'll be able to see the heart, and then we're also going to point your middle fingers out, and the middle fingers, this pyramid, represents the expansion and upwards and the growth of these qualities of the heart. And then the heart shape itself represents compassion and that quality of the heart. So you're just going to bow your head down. If it gets uncomfortable holding this mudra, then just release it, bring your hands onto your thighs, and start to connect with your breath. And to feel for yourself the quality of the energy in your heart space. And that's like a visualization at this stage. But which of those qualities of the heart resonate with you? Which of those qualities do you feel that you have in abundance? And which of the qualities would you like to have a greater capacity for? And maybe you can set an intention for your practice around that. And really feel your breath in that part of your body. So your rib cage surrounds the heart physically. Well, it's to protect the heart on a physical level, but it can become almost like a cage for the heart, especially if you're contracting a lot in that area. Lots of us get hurt, and when we get hurt emotionally, we start to close off in that area. So this is your way of establishing your sort of baseline for your practice. How does it feel? Can you really expand into that area with your breath? Or does it feel a little bit stuck? Whatever you find, just accepting that and bringing it with you into your practice. And then you're going to release your hands, and you're going to have your hands on your knees. I've got my hips elevated up onto a blanket. You can do that, or you can just be flat on the floor. So as you inhale, you're going to draw your chest forwards, roll your shoulders back and squeeze your shoulder blades together, and then as you exhale, rounding in, pulling your belly back, dropping your chin towards your chest, separating your shoulder blades. And then once you get the action, just bringing that into more of a fluid movement, inhaling and exhaling, inhaling and exhaling, round again, warming everything up, inhale and exhale. Just one more, and you can, any of these movements you can do a little bit more if it feels good for you. And then from here, you're going to take your right hand, turn your palms face up, keep this arm straight, big breath in, and as you exhale, you're going to fold. So I'm going to take this blanket away now because it tips me forwards too much, but if you need that support, keep it. Anchoring the hips down, rolling this right shoulder down towards the left knee. And then inhale back up, I'm going to switch sides. Exhale, left shoulder coming down towards the right knee. Inhale, exhale. So just moving side to side. And this opens up the lower back, and it also opens up, I feel anyway on myself, down the sides of the torso and into the sides of the ribs, which is where we want to get. So we're starting to open up there. Just one more to each side. And then from here, right arm out to the right, sweep your left arm alongside your ear. So we're deeper opening into the side of the heart. So it's thinking about the heart in a three-dimensional way. So it's not just at the front, it's at the sides, it's at the back. And then coming around to the other side. And then coming back. So you can switch the cross of your legs here. And we're going to come, you're going to take a strap. So for this practice, should have said this earlier, you're going to need 2 bricks or something that resembles that shape and density, and a strap. So for a lot of people, you're going to need to open your strap out wider and take your arms really wide, okay? I'm just going to bring the strap a bit narrower because you'll be able to see the way that that opens my shoulders. I don't need quite as long a length of the strap. And also then the ends aren't dangling around for the purpose of the video making loads of noise. So what you're going to do is you're going to pull on the strap. You're going to keep this tension on the strap because this kind of loosens off the shoulders. And then from here, this will be your inhale coming up, and as you exhale, you're going to take the strap behind you and really pull on the strap and squeeze your shoulder blades together and open up your chest. And then inhale, come back up, and exhale, round, push and open up the back of the heart, pulling on the strap all the time. Inhale back to a neutral position, exhale, back. Inhale up. Exhale, round. Inhale up. Exhale back. And as you get used to that movement, see if you can initiate the movement rather than it coming from your hands and down through your arms, that it comes from your shoulders. So the movement of your shoulder rolling back and pulling, retracting your scapula towards one another. And then as you go the other way, you're rounding and you're protracting your scapula, so you're pulling them further away from one another. Just one more like this. And exit. And then take the strap up and take one end of the strap down and the other end up. So you're at like at an angle. And you're pulling your arms back, you're pulling your front ribs down so you're not overarching your lower back. And this is just moving into a different part of the shoulder, a different part of the arm. And then from here, coming back the other way, lifting that top arm up, pulling the bottom arm away from it and pulling the shoulder blades back. And then from here, you're going to take these movements and put them together. So you're making like a circle. There's not going to be as much movement through your spine, so we're not really arching and rounding the spine now. We're isolating the movement into the shoulders and the chest. And then from here, start to go in the opposite direction. Opening up, coming back through that angle, and then forwards. And this is such a fantastic way of stretching out the arms, of opening up the shoulders, and opening up the front and the back of the chest. Okay? And then you're just going to set that strap to the side, and you're going to come and bring your bricks, and you can alter the height of your bricks. So I'm going to start on the highest level, but you can start on whichever level is okay for you. So the first thing that I'm going to do is get my elbows so the bricks are shoulder width apart, and I'm looking at the space between the bricks, and I want to imagine that I could get my head between the space. And then from here, I'm going to start to walk my knees back. So you want to find that stability. I'm going to bring my palms together and take them sort of so my thumbs come towards my shoulder blades. And I'm going to start to drop my chest down. So I'm going to adjust the position of my knees and my feet so that I can drop as deeply into it as I can. So I'm still keeping a little bit of core engagement. So I'm just gently engaging the core at the front so that I'm not dumping everything into my lower back. And I'm kind of pushing down into my elbows and hugging my elbows in towards the midline a little bit, and just dropping my chest through. So it's a big stretch for the shoulders and the chest. So it's kind of that space between your shoulder blades. You're softening and dropping that space down towards the floor. And then slowly, you don't want to topple over on your bricks, use your knees, walk back in. And then you're just going to set those bricks back to the side, and we're going to come into Anahata. So this is heart opening pose. So I'm going to take my knees back, have my toes curled under. You can have your feet flat on the floor, whichever suits you. I'm trying to keep my hips stacked over my knees. And then I'm going to straighten my arms, roll the weight towards the inner edges or the thumb side of my hands, hug my arms into one another, lift my sit bones up, keep that gentle engagement through the core. So I'm just going to take my glasses off. And then dropping your forehead to the floor. So it's similar to what we were doing. We've just got the arms extended, and you're thinking about pushing and extending your scapula up and forwards, but keeping your shoulders rolled away from your ears. Taking a few more breaths here. And then from here, you're going to come all the way down onto the floor. With your hands either side of your ribs, push your feet into the floor. So when we do back bends, I know you might have heard me say this a million times, but we're engaging the back of the body. It's not the back body that's stretching, the back body is engaged so you can stretch the front of your body, which is how we're going to get into the space of the heart at the front. So you're going to start to push your feet into the floor, and you're going to really engage your legs. So squeeze the back of your legs, squeeze around your sit bones, and then also squeeze your glutes a little bit at the base. This will push your pelvis into the floor, lift your belly away from the floor, and then hug your elbows in. And as you inhale, come up using the muscles in the back of your body to lift. And then exhale, come down. 2 more. Inhale. And exhale, so your elbows stay bent. Inhale, really use the legs. Exhale down. And then press yourself up onto all fours. And you can walk your hands around. Oh no. hold on. So from here, just coming and sitting on your heels. So you can sit, I'm going to just turn slightly to this angle so you can see. So you can sit on your heels, you can have a blanket between your calves and your thighs. If doesn't suit you to sit like this, you can sit cross-legged or any comfortable seated position. So I'm going to come and tuck my toes under. So I like to stretch out my feet, any opportunity to really, because this is not a comfortable position when you first begin to do it. So from here, I'm going to take my right arm in front and I'm going to use my left arm and I'm going to hug that arm in, pull the shoulder back down and stretch the back of the heart. And then I'm going to hold on to this elbow and I'm going to reach that right hand down the centre of my spine, press my head back into my forearm and really let the chest lift. And then I'm going to open my arms out like goddess arms. I'm going to pull my hands back and roll my elbows forwards and lift the chest up. Still trying to lengthen the tailbone. And then from here, take my hands behind, interlace my fingers, pull the shoulders back, maybe straighten the arms. So you can keep, I'll just show you, you can keep your elbows bent and just pull your hands away from your sacrum, or you can straighten your arms and you can pull on your fingers and or that way, or you can have the heels of your hands together, and that's going to depend on your level of flexibility in your wrists and in your hands. And then from here you're going to switch, take your left arm across and then hold on to your left elbow, draw that hand down your back, push back with your forearms and then open your arms out into your goddess arms, roll your elbows forwards and your hands back, lift your chest and then take your hands back behind you and open up your chest even more. And then releasing from here, you're going to come onto all fours and you're going to walk your hands around to the right and around to the left, and step your right foot forwards. So from here, you're going to come into a lunge. So you're going to square off your hips, you're going to hug your inner thighs in towards the midline, you're going to squeeze your outer hips in towards the midline and you're going to come up. And then from here, you're going to reach your arms up, open up into Prana Mudra. So you're just reaching your arms out, lifting your chest, and then from here maybe you can sink a little bit deeper. So you're opening up the whole of the front of that left thigh, and so this opening in this left side is coming all the way from your left foot, all the way into your heart and all the way up. And then from here, take your right arm. So what we're going to do is these same movements from your lunge. Take the elbow back, open your arms up, and then interlace your hands, pull back. And then from here, placing your fingertips down. So this is where you may utilise the bricks as well. And then from here, you're going to stretch, shift your hips back, stretch this right leg, and then bring the sole of your foot down to the floor if you can. So again, you're stretching the front of your leg. And then inhale, lift, pull your sit bones back and up, lift your chest. If you can bend your elbows and fold a little bit deeper, you can take that option, but it's more about what you can feel in this leg, which is going to be a lot probably. And then bend that right knee. And then from here, you're going to slide your right foot back and bring your left foot forward. Same thing, setting up for your lunge. And then coming up, inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, open your arms out. So this gesture is one of receptivity to life. And this is what, the heart is all about. If you've got an open heart, then you're open to not just give love, but to receive love and create this quality of nurturing and openness, not just to yourself and to other people, but to everything that happens. And then you're going to take your left arm, pull it across, keep dropping into your lunge, and then left elbow, push back through your head, open your arms out, lift your chest, interlace your fingers, pull your knuckles down, open up through your chest, and then hands down, find your bricks, and come back to here. So, taking the sole of your foot down to the floor, and then reach your sit bones back as you lift your chest up. Release your shoulders down your back. Maybe if you want to fold a little bit deeper over that leg, you can do that. You can start off by reducing the level of your bricks. That's going to help you to come a little bit lower when you're ready for that. And then walking your self back again and come into your all fours position. From all fours, you're going to come into downward facing dog. So you're going to bring your hands a little bit further forwards, curl your toes under. And if you can hear like a little noise in the background, my absolutely gorgeous cat is lying a little bit over to that side of the room and he's snoring, which always makes me laugh. So pushing down, sorry, I brought my hands a bit further back, push down, really roll the weight towards the thumb side of your hand, pull, magnetize your arms and your hands towards one another to engage the chest muscles. That's going to help you to come up into your downward facing dog. Look back at your feet, so make sure your head's nice and relaxed. And then keep hugging your arms and your hands into the midline. And then think about extending your shoulder blades down towards your hands, but you're still keeping your shoulders away from your ears. So it's this straight arm extension through the shoulders. And then from here, straightening your legs. And then you can just keep your heels lifted high. You can even keep your knees bent. Or if you have got any room to bring your heels closer to the floor, you can do that. And then what we're going to do is pulse. So it's a little bit like when we did Anahata Asana. So you're drawing your heart as if you could reach it back to your thighs. Just a couple more. Good. And then from here, you're going to walk your feet towards your hands, however you get there. Feet are hip width apart. And you're going to drop into your forward fold. So you can have your knees as bent as you need to have them so that you're not pulling on your lower back. I mean, you want to create a little bit of stretch in the lower back. That's the point of the poses. But if you can do that, and then when you straighten your legs, it really pulls on your lower back. Then stretch out and lengthen your spine with your knees bent until that starts to ease off. And then from here, whichever position you're going to take your hands to the backs of your calves, and you're going to slowly start to roll all the way up, bringing your hands up to your sacrum, and then really engage the backs of your legs. Really draw your shoulder blades towards one another, push your hands into your sacrum, squeeze around your glutes, and that's going to allow your pelvis to move forwards as you do a little bit of a back bend. And then exhale, slide your hands back down, bending your knees as you need to as you come back into it. And then you can put your hands on bricks if you need to, but you're going to step your left foot back. Get your feet hip width apart, and then from here you're going to bring your hands onto your thigh and bring yourself up into your high lunge. And if it's too much, take your back knee back down and just repeat the same thing. So use this back leg, engage that back leg to allow you to drop into the front leg and keep that core stability in your pose. Inhale, reach your arms up, and exhale, open your arms back out. And then same thing, right arm comes across. Pull the shoulder down, stretch, open up the back of the heart. Bring the elbow up, open up the side of the heart, start to open up into the front. And then now more into the front. And more into the front again. Keep some core engagement, keep lengthening your tailbone down. And release. Sorry. Bring your hands onto your bricks if you need to. Same as we did before, we're going to straighten this front leg. So you're dropping your back heel towards the floor, you're rolling this left hip forwards, right hip back. You're squeezing your outer hips in, and then can you lift your tailbone, lift your chest, really feel that stretch in the legs. Maybe you can bend your elbows or take your bricks lower. And then from here, little bend in this right knee, and you're going to bring that left foot forwards a little bit, and you're going to come into your warrior one foot pan. So same thing, going to start to push into the outside edge of that back foot to help you come up, squaring off your hips, keeping that back foot planted. You don't want the foot to start to lift up. And then again, inhale. Same thing, open your arms up, exhale. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, bring this right arm across. Inhale, your elbow up. Draw that hand down your back. Exhale, maybe sink a little bit deeper into your warrior pose. Inhale, open up. Maybe lay your chest open a little bit more. Exhale, interlace your fingers. Inhale, keep your chest lifted, and it's as though you're sliding your hands down this back leg. And then from here, bring your fingertips or your hands down, back down to your bricks, and you're going to spin onto the ball of this left foot and slowly lower that left knee down. So from here, you're going to open up into a twist. So really stretching through the sides of the chest, rolling the front of the chest up. And you'll be able to see this a little bit better on the other side. But you're going to kick this back foot around and straighten this right leg. So you can have the foot down, you can have it turned to the side, or you can be on your heel, whichever suits your body shape the most. So from here, you're going to inhale, reach this top arm up, take your left hand behind, just like we did before, and find a little bit of a back bend. And then come up, and you're going to sweep this left arm around and come into big side body opening. And then from here, you're going to come back up, right hand to your sacrum, coming up, circle back and around, sweeping that right arm up and over, and then come back up one more time. Inhale, arcing back, exhale, all the way over. And then come all the way back. Lift your toes, spin this right leg back, and then slide your right knee back. Bring your hands forwards, and then from here, you're going to come forwards, bringing your shoulders over your wrists, and like we've been practicing, lower down, pause, so it's like a half chaturanga, lower all the way down, and then inhale, coming up into your cobra, exhale, rolling down to the floor, and then from here, you're going to roll to the side, and bring your left hand underneath you. And then you're going to step your right foot behind, beyond the ball of your foot. And you're going to lift your hips up and open up into Wild V, Chakra. And then maybe even bringing this right hand onto your heart and open up as much as you can. Really use the back of your legs and slowly come back down. Rolling back onto all fours and then pressing yourself up to your downward facing dog. So in your downward facing dog, you can do whatever you feel as though you need to do to release what you can feel in your body after that, doing that on that side. And then you're going to pick up your heels and you're going to walk your hands or your feet towards one another, get to the front of your mat, and then again bending your knees as much as you need to, maybe shaking out through your head, maybe just resting the backs of your hands on the mat. And then hands to the backs of your calves again. Inhale, come all the way up. Hands to the back of your sacrum. Really engage your legs. Really squeeze around your glutes. Let that action press your hips forwards. Hug your inner thighs in towards one another. And then lift your chest. Pull your elbows back. And then maybe lay back a little bit to a back bend, and then exhale, slide your hands down, bending your knees as you need to when you get to the bottom. And then from here, fingertips to the floor, all your bricks, step your right foot back. Now you're coming into this high lunge again. So bringing your hands onto your thigh. Really work this right leg. This is what's going to give you the strength and the stability to stay upright. Keep hugging your inner thighs and your outer hips in towards one another. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, open the mat. Take your left arm across, inhale. Exhale, bring your left hand down the centre of your back. Inhale, really stretch through the sides of your heart. Exhale, open your arms out. Roll your elbows forwards and your hands back. Inhale, really expand. Exhale, interlace your hands behind your back. Inhale, really stretch and open your chest. And then exhale, hands down, find your bricks. So this back leg's not going to change. Yeah, you're just going to roll a little bit back towards the heel. You're straightening your left leg. You're squeezing your outer hips. Maybe lift your tailbone, your sit bones a little bit. Maybe you can fold a little bit deeper. And then from here, bending this left knee again. Now you're going to bring this right foot to the floor. So your foot is at an angle where you're trying to get your toes to point towards the front of the room more. And then keep bending this left knee. You're going to have to adjust your stance as you come up. And you want to be able to push the outside edge of this right foot into the floor. Use that to steer your hips towards the front. And then you can decide how much you're going to bend this left knee. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, open them out. Inhale, take your left arm across. Exhale, bring your left elbow up. Inhale, really stretch into that. Exhale, goddess arms. Inhale, really lift your chest. Exhale, interlace your fingers behind you. Inhale, big stretch. And then exhale, bring your hands down onto your bricks, spin, so you're on the ball of this right foot again, and lower your right knee down to the floor. So you can keep your bricks, but you're going to bring your right hand down and inhale, left arm lifts. Really make that an expansive movement, so you're lifting your chest in every movement. And then bring your hand back down. And this time it's your right foot that's going to kick behind you, and you're going to straighten this left leg. So I'm going to turn my foot that way because that's what I did on the other side. So any of those foot positions. And then from here, right hand behind, inhale, reach your left arm up. Really engage the back of the legs and the glutes. And then exhale down. And then I'm going to sweep my right arm around to the side of my right knee. And then open up through that left side of the heart. And then inhale, come up. This time it's the left hand that comes behind. Right arm arcing back. Exhale. Right hand down. Sweep your left arm alongside. One more. Inhale up. Right hand behind. Arcing open. That was my knee. Exhale. Right hand down. Sweep that left arm alongside your ear. And then slowly come back. So you're spinning your legs back, bring your knees back, and then walking your hands underneath your shoulders. Roll to the inside edge of your hands. Use your core. So you're going to come forwards. And then as you exhale, a little bit of core, go all the way down. And then inhale, little cobra. And then exhaling all the way down, rolling to the right side this time, right hand down, and then stepping your left foot behind you on the ball of this left foot. Really power up this right arm, and then start to use the side of your body to lift, and then reaching this arm up. Now start to use the backs of your legs, pushing into your feet and arcing open into any depth of this pose, and then slowly lowering down all the way back down. So from here you can reach back for your foot with one hand and stretch. Just need a little bit of room. Stretch your left arm forward. So right hand's holding your right foot, left arm is reaching forwards. If you can come a little bit higher, you can come up onto this left forearm and really stretch your chest, but use the back of your legs. Really squeeze around your glutes. And then release. So you can extend that arm out, or if you know that you're okay up on your forearm, you can hold on to your forearm. So lizard pose for variation. Slowly come back, not lizard pose, Shalabhasana. So from here, you can hold on to both feet, and you're going to push your feet into your hands. So I'm flexing through the feet, so I'm engaging the feet, and I'm going to start to squeeze my inner thighs together. I'm going to start to squeeze the backs of my legs. I'm going to squeeze the bottom of my glutes, and then I'm going to push and lift my chest. So we're just going to do a gentle Dhanurasana, bow pose. And release down. And then from here, you're going to come up, one more pose, tucking your toes under, excuse me, and standing up on your knees for camel pose, Ustrasana. So we're going to start off in that same position, and this is where you might stay for the whole of this pose. But I want you to feel that same thing that we did before. So you're pulling your inner thighs towards one another. This opens up around your sacrum. And then from there, you're going to start to squeeze your hamstrings. And then you're going to start to squeeze around your glutes. And can you see how that enables me to safely press my pelvis forwards without it going into my lower back? And then I'm going to start to roll my shoulders back. So this is, one version. Yeah. If you can go a little bit deeper, maybe you can lean back and bring your hands onto your heels. And then from there, it's that same action. So I'm going to squeeze and push forwards and open up my chest. And then come out. And slowly come back. So I'm going to come back to all fours so that I can slowly start to take my spine in the opposite direction. So from here, I'm going to inhale, little arch in my spine, and then as I exhale, I'm going to round my spine and slowly sit back towards a child's pose. Inhale, keep the rounding in my spine. Exhale, back to child. One more. Inhale, keep pushing the floor away, keep protracting the scapula, the shoulder blades, and then pulling your belly up. So engaging your belly now. And back to child's pose. And then from here, I'm just going to cross my ankles, or however you can come down, back down to the floor. And I'm going to bring my feet out in front and bring my hands in front of my heart. And I'm going to lean back a little bit and start to engage my core. So this will be my inhale, and I'm going to exhale, twist. Inhale back to centre, exhale, twist. So what I want to do is I want to release the lower back with the twisting movement, but I also want to engage the core a little bit so that I can close the front of the body down a little bit. And if you want to, if you're feeling playful, you can pick your legs up and do it from here. So you're squeezing your legs together, lifting out of your lower back in like a half boat version of the twist. For 3, 2, and 1. And release. And then you're just going to slowly, actually, we're going to do a forward fold. So it might not be your deepest forward fold ever. And if you're beginner, you know your hamstrings are tight, or you know that your lower back is tight, we want to stretch out the hamstrings a little bit because they've been doing all of that contracting forwards. You can also take your feet a little bit wider, that makes it more accessible. And then you're going to bring your fingertips either side of your hips, and you're going to push your hips down into the blanket or the mat and lift the crown of your head as far away as you can so you get lots and lots of length. And then as you exhale, use your fingers, your hands for support, and you're going to tip yourself forward. So you may not come anywhere near as far forwards as I do, but wherever you get to, bring your hands somewhere where you can feel supported, you can have a bend in your elbows, and you can soften your shoulders, and you can lengthen the back of your neck and allow your neck to just be an extension of your spine. So you're not lifting your head up and you're not pulling your head too far in. You're gently flexing your toes so that the front of your legs is engaged. So where we've been stretching the front, now we're going to gently engage and contract the front. This will open the backs of the legs, and then we can fold in deeper. You can use bricks, have a stack of bricks, or if you're not using your blanket, you can use a combination of bricks and a blanket, and maybe find somewhere to rest your head or your chin so that you stay relaxed as you stretch out all of the back of your body now. And you can pause and you can stay here for a few more moments and just really get the most out of this forward fold. And then when you're ready, you're just going to come down, all the way down for your Shavasana. Take up lots of room, and you can have your hands out to the sides, or you can bring one hand onto your heart and one hand onto your belly. as you lie here, feel the quality of that energy in that chakra in the space of your heart now at the end of your practice compared to at the beginning. And visualize a green glow in the center of your chest, pulsing with the movement of your breath, or seeing that 12-petaled green lotus flower, luminescent green blossom opening and closing with your breath. Think about the intention of your practice. What quality did you want to cultivate and seal into your body through your practice? And then staying as long as you can. And when you're ready to come out, wriggling with some movement back, maybe a stretch. And then drawing your knees in, rolling to your right. Take a few breaths here. And then when you're ready, pressing down into your hands and coming back to a seat. And just for the last moment, we're going to come back to that mudra that we had at the beginning. Bringing your thumbs down, steepling your index fingers, middle fingers up, bowing your head down. Sealing in all of the work that we've done. And also sealing that in with a single round of the seed sound for this chakra, which is Yum. So you're going to take a big breath in. Yum. Bringing your palms together, bringing your thumbs to your third eye, lifting your head, blinking your eyes open. Namaste, and thank you for sharing your practice with me, for allowing me to be your guide. And I'll see you on the next video.